पुरुषोत्तमम्
वन्दे पुरुषोत्तमम्
वन्दे पुरुषोत्तमम्
वन्दे पुरुषोत्तमम्
वन्दे पुरुषोत्तमम्
वन्दे पुरुषोत्तमम्
Joy Guru and good evening. Joy Guru and good evening. I, Orko Chatterjee, welcome you on behalf of Master Within. As you can understand, today we are going to conduct this session in English, and we have with us Rohanda and Kaushikda, Master Within members. They will eventually join us. But before that, I want to say that today we are going to talk about faith. Now, faith has a very strong connection with the so-called religion. Faith is such a word which is often used with another word, blind. Now today we are going to find out that is faith can really can make our sense as well as our intelligence go blind. What is the connection between religion and faith? And what happens when faith peeps in? On that note, I would like to invite Kaushikda, and today he is going to read out the message of our master.
First of all, pranam to my Supreme Beloved, Supreme Father, and also Vivasanda. I just read out something from book message. Peace, 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 be a peaceful. Be a whatever. Regret not what has happened by the impulse of your blind misfortune. Let not be afraid by the taunting insult of your action that have occurred by the intensement of the ignorant, dull, depressing environment. Shout, cheer up, be enquivered and attached, be your tendril of passion of the idol, the beloved, whose love enters unquestionable to top to bottom, whatever ye may be, saint, rogue, sufferer, criminal, or sinner, pervading all, install him with all your purpose, with all your services, with all your love and emotion, with all the resource you have. Neglect to fulfill the narrow, sordid interest from the universe in which you dwell. Only think of him, think how to fulfill his interest. Move on doing and dealing accordingly, elating everyone with the message of love, hope, charity, and services that exalts. Put, put thin ear to the throbbing impulse of environment and hear attentively the lingering music of the inner microcosm with a rolling, peaceful concert, a singing thrill, peace, 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 be a peaceful joy group.
Orko, you're on mute.
Extremely sorry. Now, on that note, I would like to request Rohanda to tell us something about today's topic, when faith peeps. But before that, I think our audiences are enjoying this session. And if you do, please let us know by commenting, and please share this session. Joy Guru. Over to Rohanda.
Joy Guru, everyone. Thank you, Orkoda, for introducing me and very nicely read, Koshikda. It was really great. First of all, I would like to offer my pranam to my Supreme Beloved and a very good evening to everyone who are watching today. So, the topic for today is when faith peeps. Okay. Uh, and let's make this topic a general discussion like we do every day, Orkoda, right? Like every other sessions. We'll just discuss and express our views. So today we don't have our brother Sovik Ghosh. He has been busy with some of his work. So we are definitely missing him. But we also have of Koshikda. And that's also an exciting thing to have him here. We'll discuss today. And he would also express some of his views, which are really valuable, which has been really valuable. So when we say the word faith, let's talk about that first. Let's keep the topic when faith peeps aside. Let's focus on faith. So, what is faith? When we say the word faith, a lot of things pops up in our brain. Okay, it's a human tendency. Whenever we say some word, okay, a lot of things actually comes up. It's like we see a lot of dots, and according to our understanding, we start joining those dots and make up something in our brain, and then we link to whatever we think. So I would like to first discuss what faith means. So faith is basically a Latin word. Okay, it was derived from Latin word or Old French, which says feed, F-E-I-D. So it says it means confidence or trust in a person, thing, or any concept. Okay, we often use the word faith in our daily lives. I was thinking when actually I was going through the topic, the first thing that came to my mind suddenly was when we used to write letters or emails, we write down the body and we write yours faithfully, and then we write our name. Okay, so it is a word, the faith is a very powerful word. Actually, it is a very powerful thing. The meaning is actually very powerful and it has to do a lot of things with the person's belief. Okay, when we say ki, I have faith in that thing, then actually we are having trust in that very thing or that very person, that the person will do something or that situation will be positive. Okay, a very common example let's discuss is when Sachin Tendulkar used to bat for India. Okay, everyone had the faith in him. We have faith in Sachin Tendulkar. He will definitely help us win. He will score for India. He will make us proud. He will make India proud. Now, why do one person or a person says that he has faith on someone or some object? Okay, that's the main thing that we need to discuss and that we'll discuss today. And then we'll see, when does faith actually peeps? How does faith peeps? So first we need to understand, why does that thing comes in the very first place? Why do we have faith in someone? Okay, we say that I have faith in iPhone taking very good photograph. I have faith in that company. I trust that company as a very good company. Or anything you can say, anything. So whenever we use the word faith or trust, it has to do something with the actions of that very thing, the past actions. So faith is actually directly related to the actions or doing. Okay, whatever was done in the past by that person or whatever happened in that situation or anything that we are discussing or anything that comes. Our master is saying, where unquestioning diligence runs easily and wisely with love, faith peeps from behind with a smile. Okay, when I read this quote, I was actually numb for a long time. Such a powerful thing has been written in just 4 lines, just we need to actually think. When unquestioning diligence, what is the meaning of diligence? If we see the quality of doing work carefully and thoroughly, as I said, that faith has to do with actions, work, and whatever is done previously. Unless and until there has been some positive work or some actions which reflect positivity and goodness, faith will not be there. There will be no faith, or the faith will be there in a negative way if the work has left some negative impact. Okay. For example, we all know that war brings sorrow. Okay. If there is a political tension between two nations, they want to avoid the war. Why? Because they have faith that war will bring sorrow and it will take a lot of lives and it will wash away all the peace. So again, faith is there in the war that it will not bring good. Right? They trust that it won't bring good. So it's all about the action. So that was just an introduction. Let's. I want to listen what you also have to say, and let's make it a discussion. Okay. So I would like both of you to actually add some points, and then we'll again come back to the topic on broader level. Okay. Yes.
Yes, you were talking about Sachin Tendulkar. Now,
Yes.
I want to ask you that what should be the traits of a person? What should the traits of a person or of a system whom we can have our faith on?
Okay. So very correct question actually. So it has to do a lot with the traits. If we say it should have such traits that will lead to positivity. Okay, it should have such traits that should do something that actually results in the welfare of the people or the situation, or reflect some positive actions or positive scenarios. Okay, that is from the positive perspective. So that's very important, and hence and again the trait has also to do with the actions. If the work is not done, if there is no doing, as our master says, koro korepa kora, so doing is very important. So that is the main thing that should be in the traits of a person, or whatever we are talking about, to have to generate the faith in a positive way. Okay, that's what I believe.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Our master says that doing is the only way of having.
Exactly.
Now,
Yeah.
yes, the great warrior of Mahabharata, the great warrior
Yeah.
Arjuna,
Yeah.
he also used to think that before Kurukshetra, he used to think that this war is for good. Now now when he entered the field, when he saw his own people, he thought that he is doing something terrible, and he
Yes.
will be seen. And uh, then then his guru, Lord Krishna, then his guru Lord Krishna make him realize that actually he what Lord Krishna did was he restored his faith. He restored Arjuna's faith on him.
Yes.
So when we have our faith on our guide, we can do
Yes.
anything.
Exactly.
What about what about that? What are the traits of a guide should be, and how we can trust him? What is the procedure uh, to trust a, I mean to develop our trust on such a man?
Yes. So basically, it's the root thing that you said. That's the importance of guru in our life. Okay, the ideal. So unless and until we have a guru who shows us the proper path and direction, okay, unless and until we understand whatever he is telling us, and that he wants the goodness, he wants the welfare in humanity or whatever it is, we don't understand these things, we cannot develop that trait only. Okay, the traits means, yes, that will be there in us by genetics and all those things, but to actually put that into action, that is only possible when we have a guru, when we have an ideal, and as you said, in the life. Okay, so that's extremely important to get the guru in our life. As we all, my father was once discussing about the importance of ideal in life. Okay, so he gave us examples about some really great personalities that we see from history. Now, what happens when there is a guru in the life, and when the person is dedicated towards the guru and ideal? Say, for example, we know Shivaji Maharaj. Okay, so if we see what he has done and how we know him today, how the nation knows him, how the world knows him today. Okay, that's only possible when a person is actually dedicated towards his guru and ideal. Okay, uh, he- there are a lot of people like that. If you see in the history, actually recalling those moments and those eminent personalities at the very moment is very difficult. But there are so many examples that we, if we think, then we understand that unless and until we actually dedicate ourselves to the ideal who actually wants us to be good and whose motive and objective is for the humanity and for the betterment, it's really difficult, and it's not really possible to actually put those forces into action and to be a faithful person as a whole, or to have a faith to understand that. Yes. Yeah. I would
Now,
also,
on
yeah. Yes, sir.
now on the other hand,
Yeah,
we can end up in a perfect misery if we have our faith on a wrong person.
definitely. Definitely. As I said in the beginning, as we were discussing, that we have faith on world war that or wars that it can never bring peace or
Being
harmony,
any good, yes, yes, yes.
being any good. So that is very correct. I have said very correct. I would like Koshikda to actually add some of his points on this thing that Arkadat said, that what if the faith is on the wrong. I think you're on mute.
Koshikda, please unmute
Mute,
yourself.
mute. Yeah, unmute yourself.
Okay, so sorry for that.
Yeah.
Just whenever listening Bhivasanda's words, I just remembering some words, some thoughts a few days ago. Whenever I am prepared about my uh, knowledge from newspaper,
Yeah.
then there is a news about a clock who maintains the time about the dangerous and peaceful things. When peaceful
Yes,
things is
yes.
going on,
Yes, I saw that
then
news.
time
Doomsday clock, right?
Dunes clock. Yes,
Yes.
that clock name
Yes.
is Dunes clock. So
Yeah.
this clock is only the represent the time of good things.
Yeah.
Whenever the bad thing happening in our surrounding areas, then
Yeah.
its time all is going on, moving on. Okay, so just whenever we believe, or whenever we believe in bad things or worse things, then our surrounding environment also suffer from these circumstances. And
Yes.
in the present time, that doing that clock's time also moving on, and it's also quite 10 or 12 minutes far away towards its last parameter. Dangerous
Yeah, the
things happened
apocalypse.
in
Yes, yes.
apocalypse. Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
in previously it's happened into the during the Second World War, I think. This time.
Yes.
Okay, so whenever we believe in those bad aspects or bad things, then what our works also, we are doing something regarding those things, and our surrounding perspective areas also suffer that surrounding areas suffer the circumstances also. So whatever we believe, it may be worst, or it may be bad, or it may be good, then
Yes.
it will affect in our daily to day-to-day life also. So mm our master also says about those things, what you
Yes.
believe first of all, then those things will shown in your works also. So whatever we
Exactly.
done in our works, that is our belief. So first of all, we have to clear our views about that, what we have to believe that will be good things, because we have to progress peacefully in our life. Just whatever I'm reading from my master books, the message, those
Yes.
words also telling those things, that words, whatever uh, speaking in those paras, those words also telling those things. And we have to
Yes.
believe in our supreme beloved, or
Yes.
who believed himself, have to believe a supreme person whose life and activities also are complete, and who is also our idol. So then our activities, our things, our thoughts will also be manipulated towards the good. I think that will be lead towards our a good perspective,
Yes.
and we also achieve our goal to do something better for our future world and enlightenment our environment through within us.
Yes. Yes,
I
I
think
think
that
you have,
the point.
yeah, very correctly said. Actually, when we say belief, okay, it definitely has to do with that. But I would also like to add that with belief also comes our duty as what we do, our actions. Okay, we in these days see a lot of people saying that I don't have trust in God, or I don't have trust in that, I am losing faith. Okay, it's not to bog down anyone or any person, but it has definitely to do with the loopholes that the person is doing in the very work. Okay, belief only comes when there is proper actions. Okay, as a master is saying in the message, that where unquestioning diligence, we need to focus on these two words very properly: unquestioning and diligence. Okay, these two words. So without any question, the hard work should be there. Okay, with belief in our ideal or the master, whoever our guru is. Okay, that is very important. If we, like we see, Orkoda very frequently gives the example of Mahabharata. Okay, Sri Krishna, Lord Sri Krishna tells that karm karo, fal ki chinta mat karo. Okay, that is the universal code that we all. So that very line is actually not a very simple line. That has a lot to do with faith also. Okay, if we don't work, if the action is not there at the proper place, and if we keep on thinking about the results, okay, things have to be in synchronous. We have to be concentric. It has to go parallelly. Unless and until the action is there, the faith won't be there. Okay, just thinking that yes, I have faith, I can do, or I have faith on you can do, and that very person is not working for the goal or for the result, whatever the person needs to work on, it's not possible, it's not going to happen. Okay, so as you said, all these depends on the ideal and how the person is dedicated on the ideal and the master, and how they're following the principles that the ideal has set. Yes, Orko, you would like to add something?
Yes, I was listening to Kaushik, and by after listening to him, I think that faith has a very strong connection with our subconscious mind, isn't it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Now, now, but I mean, doesn't it makes us? I mean, doesn't it make us obsessive? Doesn't it make us go blind? Doesn't it uh, uh, the will to think logically? I mean, doesn't it kill the will to think logically, or doesn't it affect our sense?
Yes, it goes away in time. It happens, and we have seen a lot of examples, not only in the history, but also in our daily lives. Okay, so anything thinking blindly never gives a fruitful result. Okay, only thing that will give the proper result by doing blindly is the work. Okay, the unquestioning diligence needs to be there without any thoughts. Okay, so if you see, you know, I have a very simple example that is coming to my mind. You may find it very childish, but it has a lot to do with the learning. Okay, that is the story of the hare and the tortoise. Okay, the rabbit and the tortoise story. What? that is something that we learned in the lower standards, LKG, UKG class. At the very tender age, we used to learn that. What we learned? That the hare is there, the rabbit is there, and a tortoise is there. So they want to race. They decide that let's start from here, and who reaches first wins. So the rabbit has so much faith on himself, take, that I am very fast. I can beat this tortoise so easily. So he has so much faith. He has blind faith. Okay. We don't see any logic in actions, but yes, the logic is there in thinking. If you think who is fast between a tortoise and a rabbit, we see that the rabbit is fast.
Yes.
Rabbit is definitely fast. So their logical thinking is there. But what happens when it comes to action? The rabbit rests under the tree and thinks, I can beat this tortoise very easily. I don't need to, actually work. And then we see that he falls asleep and the tortoise wins. So, as you said, it has definitely to do with blind thinking. If the thought is blind, that yes, I have blind faith is never good. That is only good if same amount of action is there. And surprisingly, today we have our very little brother online. So we
Our
this is a
dearly one,
surprise.
our dear one, and
Our dear
Yes.
one, our I have
Thank
no
you very
words.
much.
Yes.
Everyone is looking great.
Okay.
Actually missed most of the part.
I am also
Pujaniya
just
Buddhadadu is
missing just
sending us
one
love.
person in that scenario. In that
That,
scenario,
that
I'm just missing one person. My faith also
And
that
and he is
he will
also there.
also come. Yes, he is also there. Yes,
yes,
This
Mohan,
is the
exactly.
faith.
just
We had
you are
faith
that
that
person.
something good will happen, and we were actually trying to do, and we have the result. Yes.
On
Okay.
Thank
that
you very
note, I
much,
too,
and
I
Joy
would,
Guru to all.
Yes. Yes.
And I offer my pranam to our Supreme Father, and I offer my pranam to Rev Bibosan Chakraborty Dada also. And dear brothers and sisters, Joy Guru to all, actually. So I hope all of you are
on
doing
that
good,
note,
right?
I would,
Yeah. Yes.
yes, we are. On that note, I would like to say that Pujaniya Buddhadadu is sending us love. So I
Okay.
Yes.
want to offer my pranam to him.
Yes. Pranam to him, and that's a very positive support for us to go
Yes.
ahead with the
Yes, of
discussion.
course.
Yes.
Exactly.
Exactly, exactly.
Yes. So yes. So let's
Now, now,
make it a
Just
very healthy discussion. Okay.
yes, now
I
that
would
leads to our final
just
question. What happens when faith peeps?
what happens. No, actually there has to be some tweaks in the question. Not what happens when faith peeps in, it's when faith peeps in, and when will
I
faith
see.
actually peep
Yes.
in. Okay, that is the main thing that needs to be discussed. And how will faith peep, to be more specific. Okay, as the very first line of the post suggests, that where unquestioning diligence runs easily and wisely with love, faith peeps from behind with a smile. so when there is an action and when there is doing, faith peeps in. Very famous quote: when there is a will, there is a way. Ichha holei rasta pawa jabe. And when we have the will, we will definitely work on that very thing with a positive force. Okay. And once again, just a small thing I will say, and I would like Shovik and Nanda to actually add their points, that we only generate faith on a person when we have the history of some positive actions from that very person. We were actually discussing this with Orkoda. We discussed about Sachin Tendulkar with the examples, and Orkoda also brought up a very important thing that he highlighted, that faith can also come in a negative manner if the actions are not giving us positive results, or if the action is not actually spreading peace and love. So yes, so that has been there. So I would like you to add something now. Yes.
there is a story.
Okay, Dada.
I
Hello,
just try to.
Bibushan.
Yes, yes, Dada. You just keep on saying that. I'm just trying to find a Bani of Sri Thakur from Sangha Samikha. You please continue.
Okay. Yes.
Koshikda was saying something.
Okay, I want to add few more things. Basically, when Dada started, our Reverend Bibosanda started that I want to add few points. Basically, the faith, to have faith in Guru, to make a practical commitment, right? Isn't it? To make a practical commitment that kind involve in trusting Guru or trusting in Guru. The root meaning of the Greek already Reverend Romonda add. The faith is trust, basically. There are the few more questions that I have. The what is believe in religion? What is believe in Guru? There is a difference. What are the common prominent features of religion? How do people generally believe in religion, or believe in religion consists of changes in behavior, a change in such behavior as fighting with others, crushing others, exploring others, taking advantage of others, and petty thieves and legacy. That means it refers in the main to change in behavior. When someone believe in Guru, they try to behave well, to be a good person. These are external behaviors. And what about the religion or guru as a cyclical curse bowed the name of the mind? With faith, one does have a church in the psychologically. That means the belief in religion or guru can there be a defined thus of the well-being behavior. I think so. I think I add just a few more points basically. That the Shobik and Rohonda can add more because I do not have any vast idea about that. I just add the few points basically. Over to Rohonda.
Yes, I think Sovik should actually start with this now. I have been
Yes.
speaking lately.
I think that discussion was wonderfully going on, and even I don't know actually the background and everything regarding the topic today, but with the wonderful presentation by my respected dadas and Reverend Dada Rohunda, and I pay my pranam and respect to him and all the parties present today and everyone watching today. I pay my respect and my Joy Guru, and also last but not the least at all, my Reverend Buddhadev Dadu. I pay my respect and pranam. Uh, s- uh, I just want to start with this one thing that just before some days, a person texted me that, why don't you pay your pranam to Sisi Thakur online? It is not like that I don't pay pranam to him. I actually mention, I don't mention it like enlightening it with broad words and such, because it never fell to me. I pay his picture is always in front of me in my table, and I pay respect and pranam to him all the time. But yeah, I do that much less. I think this is another kind of trust that I have developed. It is not just a trust, it is the kind of uh, familiarity. Thakur was some kind of thing, and the identification with him is changing every day. Even after being the same, the identification is changing every day. This is my personal experience. I can mention one line from Satyanusaran, The Pursuit of Truth. There, Sisi Thakur says once, he uses a phrase like, just as faith can never be blind. And then he continues. In Bengali, he actually means that বিশ্বাস যেমন অন্ধ হয় না, kind of that. Like Noyanda was speaking of generality, the mindset, the psychology of Sisi Thakur was fashioned in such a way, in his thought, in his understanding, the faith thing has nothing to do with blindness. Like andhobishas, we use this term so much. Superstition, blind faith, we use these kind of things all the time. But the way, with the purity, the mentality of a child with which Sri Thakur understands this term faith, has nothing to do with the faith that most of us are used to. Another thing Nayanda said that সাধারণ মানুষ যেভাবে faithকে দেখে, the way normal people or generally how the people see faith, this generality or the commonality is something like when we go to a madhouse, when we go to asylum where the mad people are there, the general people there are generally mad. So if a normal people go there, then he will be considered mad because the normal people is someone out of the place. Similarly, in today's world, the people with a proper faith, firm faith, will be termed as someone mad, like Lord Ramakrishna. When he said that I talked to Ma Kali and all that, he was termed as a madman. Not unless he made someone like Vivekananda. And even Vivekananda was not accepted unless he was admired by the people of the West. So there is something within us where we are already licking the boots of the West. And this is so much ingrained in our blood and the system. Unless we are admired by the ways, by the procedures of the West, unless our foods are compared to the hamburgers of the McDonald's, we cannot sing, and we cannot sing our own praises. So I would like to mention a bani of Sri Thakur from Sangha Samikha. It's a Bengali bani. I would like to try to translate. Sri Thakur says, বিশ্বাস কিন্তু একটা অলিক প্রত্যয় নয়কো, অবাস্তব ধারণাও নয়কো, বরং তা বোধ ও বিবেচনার সহিত ব্যবস্থিতি ও প্রস্তুতির সার্থক সঙ্গতিশীল নির্দ্বন্দ্ব মিলন. It is verse 165 from Sangha Samikha. He says, the term faith, this faith is not something like a imaginary determination, ununderstandable imaginary determination. It is not like that. Just think, if I just start believing that I can fly an aeroplane, this is a blind faith. Like, I cannot just out of anywhere think that I can fly an aeroplane. I will go to the airport and steal a plane and try to fly it. Because these kind of imaginative figures, imaginative determination is dangerous. That's why Sri Thakur says একটা অলিক প্রত্যয় নয়কো, অবাস্তব ধারণাও নয়কো. It is not a unreal fantasy. I think since many of the if we look into the life of many people, we see many kind of impossible things happen, and we are often get deluded by the impossibilities, and we think that same thing is possible for us. But Thakur always pursued the path of normality. Whatever he did was through a path of normality. Even for simple things like sitting meditation, even for normal things like exercise, weightlifting, everything in the life he wanted to pursue through some kind of normality, some kind of sanity that was common for us. Like when even for simple things like today, every person is said to get a fit body, we have to pull dumbbells and everything. But even Thakur is so strict with the normality that he did not mention that thing. He said that, okay, na korle ki hoy na, like that. I mean, he want to make a general path. I want to quote from the Amiyo Bani. Sri Thakur said to Amulloda that our mission is to pave a way. Our mission is to pave a normal way for everyone. He said to Amulloda, who was a great Sangsari man, he said to, I don't know the English of the Sangsari, so please try to understand. Family man, yes, that's the right term. Thank you, Kaushikda. I mean, yeah. And so the sannyasi is telling the English of the family man. Let's see. And
Yes.
No, not like that. Just
okay. So Thakur
just
said,
deeply going on this.
Yes, Thakur said that if a intense family man like Amulloda can become a great saint in the normal life, then all the people will feel admired and happy that okay, then if he can do it, then we can do it. Of course, we can do it. I mean, Sri Thakur want to pave a normal way for everyone. Again, through that, if we look into his life, the normality with which he grew up, he even said that আমি কোনোদিন বসে রামধ্যান করিনি, like that. He never sat for meditation. Meditation make him sit, made him sit. So I mean, the meditation was normal for him. Like that's why Sri Thakur says that the psychophysical molding of objects and affairs for the purpose of fulfillment of the principle by something I don't remember completely, and that is the fundament of meditation and concentration. The definition, nowhere else we find these kind of definitions, not even in the principles of Lord Buddha. It is a complete normal process that is in synchronization with every procedures and every fields of humanity, and that's why here the faith lies. He says, বরং তা বোধ ও বিবেচনার সহিত ব্যবস্থিতি ও প্রস্তুতির সার্থক সঙ্গতিশীল আর নির্দ্বন্দ্ব মিলন. It is the coherent and conducive and congruent superposition of the understanding and realizations of all the faculties and all the preparations in the normal activities of our daily life. It is the best the translation that I can do currently. So with every factfulness and with every normality, where my education is not in disturbance or not in fight with my health, where my health is not in asynchronization with my family, these kind of synchronization, this kind of productivity and organization in life, it is very much essential. If we look into the other places, like in the modern days, the scientists, psychologists, and all the non-fiction books that people are developing, we can say everything is directing towards a life like this, organized, productive life that people are trying to seek to make up, but we often fail. But I think Sri Thakur paved us a way, and faith is a key note for that, and it is what I believe as well. And this kind of understanding was impossible until I find someone like Sri Thakur, and also the people and the company in the presence of which we can find the examples, seeing whom the faith becomes more strong. Like I'll just end with this one. I saw a movie, and I want everyone, if they can find the time, they should watch that movie. Its name is Paul, the Apostle of Christ. There, during the writing of the New Testament of the Bible, the Luke says to Saint Paul that I may not have seen Christ, I may take time to form the faith in him, but when I see you, Paul, I don't look at you, I ignore you, but I see the Christ in you. When you stand up and talk of the Master with the utter faith, I see the Christ brimming from you. I see the enlightening monument of Christ in you. And that Christ is the glory of the Christmas. For us, it is the same. Whatever existentialism or whatever we are trying to say, it is impossible and meaningless without the foundation set up on the Master. And since the Master is within us, we also need the impulse from the outside, from the true followers of the Master as well. That's why we are called disciples. That's why, because we are disciplined in his discipline, and this is the dharma, as I understand, from the light of Sri Thakur. This much I can say. Jai Guru.
Just whenever I'm just listening your words, Sovik, I just remember a verse, a poem of Sri Thakur. Just if you can tell me that it will be completed. I just remember some poem in Bengali. So Saser Beya.
Yes.
I can't remember properly. Just remember something about the exercise. সঙ্গীতের ব্যায়াম হয়
Oh yes,
শ্বাসে।
yes, yes. সঙ্গীতে হয় শ্বাসের
তো
ব্যায়াম, দেহের ব্যায়াম নাচে, এই ব্যায়ামেরই সহজ ব্যায়াম নেই কিছু এর কাছে।
he cannot oppose that exercise, but whatever we are doing in our nowadays, he just literally says that it quite simple, and through his poem and banis, it's just simple.
Yes, indeed. And even you know the when we speak of kirtan and everything, Sisi Thakur said that to make the Bengalis more active, since the Bengali always used to talk of dharma, like to speak of dharma and no physical exercise at all, making big bellies and bhuri and all that. That's why he said that Thakur said that Chaitanya Dev started this kirtan with the physical dance and singing at the same time for killing two targets with one arrow. One is the ego and the differences that we make among castes, like amar hab bhab ache, I will sit strong like this and I won't talk. I will speak with gambhir gola, I mean sound, deep bass sound. I won't talk to much people, like that kind of personality in the high classes. He broke that with that dance, ecstatic dance, and at the same time he made the bhuriwala Bengalis active in dance every morning. Sri Thakur tried this as well, but this dance also turned into madness, because when people were so much accustomed with this dancing and everything, then when Thakur said, okay, now it's time for work, let us go for propagation, let us go for studying, research, and many of the people ran away. So it is, I mean, to maintain the balance, I think Rohanda can speak perfectly on this topic. Even I was so much even deluded, I get deluded often about several topics. Everyone of here know that, but I get so much wisdom from Dadu and Rohanda and Rahulda as well. And I think about this topic, Rohanda can enlighten us magnificently.
To listen the word of kirtan from Papai. So basically খুব ইচ্ছা হচ্ছে if Papai sing a kirtan today, the end of the program. So
Yes.
Yes, it's more amazing. We just doing kirtan in few days ago whenever we meet together. That's amazing things.
Right.
I remember in my first few months ago.
At the end of the program, if the Papai sing a kirtan, so that's the different things that we did in Nepal.
I don't want to destroy the fun. I just have a test after I think 10 to 15 minutes. Kirtan
Okay.
after test.
What do you think, Dada?
That is a genuine excuse, I think. But
Dada,
it would have been. Yes. I think that our
sing a
hands
song
are
and
tied.
get motivated. Sing a song and
For
get
the
motivated for the exam.
Exactly. That would
Yes,
be a
that is
different things, basically.
How
Because
can I
we
sing
are
a
doing
kirtan?
we are doing in a same era, basically.
Separate session for that, I think, wherein everyone will.
Orko is
Okay, I'll try.
Orko speaking rightly, that our master also, whenever stage is ready, whenever mood is ready, throughout the Anantoda or the rishis are present in that kirtan, then Sisi Thakur come to the party and join that kirtan, and at the time that kirtan was going to a top moment. So I think
right. Exactly.
Orko's points also good one, that Souvik
See.
also try to do that in a quite when stage is ready, like that. I think
now-
that's the point
See,
Orko says.
No, I think I'm regretting.
The main point is Papa doesn't want to let Kakima know that he is singing song before the examination.
Yeah. That's why I just locked the door.
Okay, we are ready.
Hey, bhai. Achha,
But it's
it may not be a
amazing thing.
kirtan. Hey, can I sing Name Ronal Jalo then?
Okay, fine.
Yes,
I don't remember anything.
amazing song.
I don't remember anything currently. Okay. Please don't judge if I forget the lyrics.
Don't worry, man. Don't worry.
নামে রনল জালো 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 রে নামে রনল জালো জালো নামের বাতি দিবারাতি উজ্জ্বল হবে সকল কালো নামে রনল জালো 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 রে নামে রনল জালো ময়লাতে ঘর আছে কি বোঝাই থাক না তাতে ভাবনা কিছুই নাই ময়লাতে ঘর আছে কি বোঝাই থাক না তাতে ভাবনা কিছুই নাই সব ময়লা ঘরে তাহার আসন ময়লা ঘরে তাহার আসন সে যে রে তোর ভালো সে এলে তোর ঘর বাড়ি দোর সে এলে তোর ঘর বাড়ি দোর আপনি হবে আলো জালো জালো রে নামে রনল জালো প্রিয়র নামের আগুন ছোঁয়া লেগে তোর মৌন হিয়া উঠবে আরো জেগে সব নিয়ে তোর পূজার ডালি মন্দ ভালো পূজার ডালি তারি পায়ে ঢালো সে এলে তোর ঘর বাড়ি দোর আপনি হবে আলো I just got reminded of another beautiful song that Sri Thakur said. Just think that Thakur said, Mondo bhalo pujar dali tari paye dhalo. Whatever we have, with all the negative and positive, if we belong to him, then everything is sorted. If we belong to him, everything is sorted. We don't have to complete a race. We don't have to keep a mountain. Like, it's like, I won't know the entire English in my whole life. I know that. But I can buy a dictionary. I can buy a dictionary and I can have all the answers in my pocket. And I think Sri Thakur is that dictionary. And I know that Sri Thakur is the dictionary, is my faith. And it is wonderful. And Thakur said, if someone worships him, it's not just true for Thakur, but for every Purushottam. If someone worships him for as a child, like a Shivalingo or like an Allah, and if he worships with a leaf, and then the Thakur comes as the goat and takes the leaf. Thakur said, je ja bhabe ami tai প্রাণের কোণে একটু শুধু অমল ধবল বিশ্বাস চাহি যে যা ভাবে আমি তাই আমি ভক্তের কাছে শালগ্রাম শিলা জ্ঞানের কাছে ব্রহ্ম ভেলা আমায় পাতা দিয়ে পুজলে পরে আমি ছাগল হয়ে পাতা খাই যে যা ভাবে তাই প্রাণের কোণে একটু শুধু অমল ধবল বিশ্বাস চাহি যে যা ভাবে তাই I think I pray to Supreme Father that so that all of us can have that kind of faith that Sri Thakur wanted for us. Now you guys decide.
Wow. Hats off to you, Papai.
I'm not wearing any hat.
Beautiful singing.
Thank you.
Loved one.
Okay, now I have to go and meet my ma and tell him what is this about.
If Reverend Rohanda adds something.
Yes, I think he has already very nicely said whatever we need to discuss. If we can move back to our discussion and the main topic, that would be actually good now. Okay, like on the very line, and that is our today's topic, when faith peeps in, right? So we've a lot of examples and lot of correct and proper things Sovik has already mentioned, and I was actually looking around some more examples if we can fit, because I believe that the more examples we discuss, the more better understanding we get about what we are discussing, right? So there was one movie that I watched way back, when we say about faith, right? That is called The Pursuit of Happiness. Okay, that is one of the very emotional and powerful movies that I had watched a long back. Okay, and I keep this. I think Sobik, you have also watched it.
No, I did not watch it completely. Of the Will Smith, that one.
Yes, Will Smith. Yes, yes, yes. Okay,
What is the name of the
so
movie, Data?
Pursuit of Happiness. Okay, so what happens in that movie is he actually
Is that the
loses
recent
everything.
movie?
No, no, it's not. It's from 2006, if I'm not wrong about the date. Okay,
Oh,
so why I discuss about these examples? Because it's very important to learn from these things. Okay, examples helps us give a proper and clear vision. Okay, it's when we read things and when we actually read books, definitely we learn. But when it actually comes into practical things, when we actually have to practice it, it's not impossible, but it is challenging, and that's where people lose the faith. Okay, in a lot of things that happens on daily life. I think we need to tackle on that very point. Now, why is this happening? Why are people losing faith? Because they don't have enough of motivation, because the belief is in the wrong thing, because the learning is not correct. As Sovik said, he told about the quotes, that it is not something unrealistic. It is not something that has to be very blind. It has to do with the actions. In Pursuit of Happiness, in that very movie, that person actually, he loses everything. This may be a spoiler for a lot of people, but still I would like to discuss, because how beautifully the director has shown us that what true understanding and proper faith can do to us is that that person loses everything. He loses his job. His family is also not there with him. He only has his small kid, and he has to actually, he lost his home, he lost everything, but still he had faith. Faith in what? Faith that something good will happen, that he can do something. And why that happens? Because he actually does that. He knows that he can do it. Okay. He was actually determined in doing that. Okay. The unquestionable diligence was there, and hence the result was there. That person lost everything. Okay. The person lost everything. He lost his job, and he started to uh, he spent days in the railway station. Sometimes he spent nights under the bus stand roofs, and a lot of struggle that person did. But the diligence and that, the tenacity of doing things did not go away. That was still there, and hence we can see, uh, anyone who has seen the movie, he sees that he achieves what he wants. He gets his family back to the place, and he actually, it's a wonderful movie. Actually, that movie cannot be discussed by words, but it is something that needs to be, uh, experienced. A lot of things like that is there. And uh, earlier this day, Nanda actually said that what faith has to do with religion, and why is there a negative thing that we see in today's world. It's again all about understanding and the source. If the source is not proper, if the source of information is not proper, then wrong things come up. And one more thing that came up today in this discussion was blind. I don't remember the exact thing. It was something, I think Noyandar Sovik, someone said that blind faith or something was there, which meant ki the true results are not seen, or something was there. It's actually, yes, when people have faith these days, what do they believe about faith and what is their understanding? See, if someone is saying that I believe in God, and if that thing is for, in they want something in return. Okay, if the dedication towards the ideal or the master or the faith is there because something is there that they want in return. That is what is happening these days. People want things in return. That is an extremely dangerous thing. Yes, we need to see in today's world, it is important to see what we are getting, but not in these cases. Okay. And hence, people don't put their effort in doing. The diligence is missing. And when the desired result is not achieved, they lose the faith. That is the wrong thing that is happening. That is the improper understanding is there. That is the incorrect understanding. That is the main dangerous thing is there. It's like a pit. That wrong belief is like a pit wherein the person puts the faith on God or something like that, and they don't get the desired results. They lose his faith on everything. Actually, to be very honest, they are not losing the faith from anything. They are losing the faith from himself. From that very person is losing. The person is losing themselves, himself or herself, because he is not dedicated on doing the things in the correct manner. Look in the history. Look at great personalities or examples. Anyone, anyone who is dedicated in doing without thinking about the results, or anyone who is too much dedicated on their daily work, you will never see that person complaining. The complaint will only come when there is a want and there is a desire to get something. Okay. So the moment the diligence moves away, finish. So that is the thing that we need to keep in mind. We see that there is a comment. We try to become resourceful without going to the source. And that is the tragedy in life. Yes, we want resources, we want outcomes, we want results without doing. That is the wrong understanding. What do you think, Orkoda and Kaushikda, and Sovi? Is that
Just,
not what is
just
happening today?
I,
Yeah.
Kaushik, are you saying something?
I just remember some confession of a mother
Yeah.
who is very close to me. And just she says that whenever she giving a birth a child, just few moments after that, he just no, he just not feel that love whatever mothers, every mothers have for their childs. He just didn't feel love about her child. After few days, when he just he just took care of his child, then day to day he also growing that his love, actually his love also growing gradually. And it's a natural thing, quite natural things happened. That's why I think that's why every mother child love their child after doing or taking care about her child. Just a confession, a normal confession. uh,
Yeah.
she says to me that in previously, just after a few days, whenever after a few months, when he took care his child, and he just fall in love after that. But just few minutes after the birth, he didn't feel love about his children. Just I just remember those words. I just add those words. And there is also a quote. I just try to read those words about my master, and this is written by Ray Hausermanda on his books Answer to the Quest. Just few words, whatever, just so we can
I think, or yes, Kaushikda has some network. Yes.
Yes. I would like. Am I audible?
our
Yes, yes.
Yes, you are.
reverend
I think something is problem there.
Yes. You guys can
And
add up.
yes. I would like. I can say that whatever Rohunda just said in this end, I think it is the most important thing to say for the entire session. If everything is, if we can delete everything else, this part is the most important thing for us. That we, most of us, worship for to get something without doing. I think in one line, this is where everything concludes, I can say.
I have experienced this a lot in life. Okay, a lot of people I have met, a lot of situations I came across, and I have seen this. Okay, because this is the trend these days. Okay, I don't trust anyone. Okay, and I don't need anyone. I am independent. First thing first, the misunderstanding and the biggest lie is a person can never be independent. Okay, in a way, in some way, the person is dependent. Okay, if no one, we are dependent on the sun. If no one, we are dependent on the gravitational force. That might sound very awkward, or that might sound childish, but if you think logically, we are dependent in a lot of connected ways. Okay, if you see those uh, diagrams of neurons connected, this that thing, okay, that is our condition, and you have to put in the faith in your ideal. Okay, and hence you need to do things. So desire to get something, fine. Okay, not at the cost of losing your faith on your ideal. So we need to understand that it all depends on your work. It all depends on one's activities. All right. If I say that I'm a very intelligent person and I have faith on myself and I can actually crack the examination, and we don't study, we will not get the thing that we are wanting to. So understanding that is important. And Sovik's exam has started, and I think he can relate to what I was saying right away. Meanwhile, a comment has been highlighted that the world is suffering the way it is, not because of people who are ignorant per se, but because of the multitude of half-baked knowledge about things. Orkoda, would you like to actually say something on this?
Yes, I think it is the most dangerous thing, uh, that half-baked knowledge. Uh,
Yes.
and to avoid this, we can see, in order to learn something, we need to find a proper teacher, and
Yes.
we need to we need to learn how to admire him, and that is the only way. That admiring the teacher, I think admiring the teacher uh, is the only way to learn about the subject, and by that we can have the knowledge which can enlighten us and enlighten our
Right. And
surroundings.
I think the best example would be the relation between Dronacharya and Eklavya. What is your opinion on this? The dedication for the teacher that Eklavya had is something that we need to understand,
Yes,
that we need to focus on, that how much dedicated that very person was. Okay, that he never met Dronacharya, but he made a idol, made a murti of him, and actually he was something in a way better than Arjun that Dronacharya thought of, and hence he asked him to cut his thumb, if I'm not wrong. That was it. Okay, and history is again the evidence. All the personalities and the great leaders that we have seen are always dedicated towards the Guru, no matter what. And that's how we get the proper knowledge. And the moment that desire thing comes up in our mind, that I need something, okay, and I want this in result, and hence I'm following this master or something, that very person, or that is the first step of digging the pit for oneself and creating a dangerous scenario that would actually make that person fall in the biggest trouble of life in the coming future. And I think there is not much to say about this. The Bani by our master, the code by master is self-explanatory. Again, I would like to say, when faith peeps in, and why will faith peep and what is faith? We can say that again, where unquestioning diligence runs easily and wisely with love, faith peeps from behind with smile. One more thing, one more word to focus here is with love. If we are just doing something without passion, without love, that will soon become a burden. So the interest needs to be developed. Okay, unless and until we focus and enjoy that very thing, we won't be able to do that. If we ask Lionel Messi to do spin bowling, which for the test of India Australia match, you got the answer right. What will happen? So unless and until the passion is there, the love for that activity is there, it is important that we generate that we build that. And how to build that? We have a lot of resources on internet these days. I'm being very practical for the youths, for many people. A lot of people are there, a lot of videos to watch. Okay, if they find these content difficult, a lot of motivational videos will be there, motivational films are there to see and understand how to make that work in practical scenario, in practical life, how to do those things, to generate a habit, to develop a habit. I watched a series on YouTube called Kota Factory. Okay, I think a lot of people have watched it, wherein a boy goes to Kota for preparation of IIT, and there is a teacher called Jitu Bhai, Jitendra Bhaiya. He says, 21 दिन में आदत लग जाती है. 21 days it takes to develop a habit. Okay, I myself have been in a program since 1.5 months, and I have developed a lot of habits. It just takes 21 days to build that habit. It's all about focus, how we focus on things. The moment we start putting all our focus into the very activity and we become consistent without questioning, it's not an impossible task to do. It is very much possible. And when these things put together with love and passion and determination is done, faith will peep us. We can see that faith is peeping us. That means people will start trusting us. We ourselves will trust ourselves that yes, we can do. That is called confidence. The confidence will be built. Unless and until we do, we cannot build or develop confidence. So it's all on the actions. It's all on our work and how we do things, and not just blind faith that yes, it will be done. So that's all from my side. I would request Orkoda and Koshikda to discuss and actually conclude if they have something to say.
Yes, action is the most important part, and I don't have really much to add on this in this scenario. I hope our audience have enjoyed this show, and I would like to ask Koshikda to end this session with Dhoni.
Yes, before that, I'm just reading. I want to read something, but my connection was
Sure. Please
going
go
on.
ahead.
I will go.
Please go ahead.
So, just a few words from the answer to the quest. Author is Ray Hauser-Menda. About my master. The American girls cleared her thoughts. Thakur, I don't agree with him. Previously, one man told something about the daily life work, and he is not sorry, that girls is not agree about that. After those words, she said, pointing to her companion, there are a lot of people who are attached or adhered to Christ. It just hasn't brought unity. That's all. Thakur smiled and nodded. Even when attachment to the Lord exists, people entertain certain superstitions which arise out of complexes. They become isolated in them. It is only when a passion pervading attachment becomes steady that one can break out of that embryed bubble of complex. Only then can one make all other people one's own from the standpoint of the Lord. This is also true that when a genuine attachment for the beloved grows, then one can love and respect and maintain a harmony with distinctive qualities of others while yet retaining one's own intact. No doubt, temperamental differences do exist. Invariably, a person's preferred those with similar temperament, but adherence to the Lord even expands one over these. It is for this reason, I think, that ordinary good people who lack of the attachment also lack the sign of the consolidation amongst themselves, though they do have some mutual understanding. though
Yes.
they, sorry, that's the attachment thing, the love or enlightenment of the
Most important.
belief.
Yes.
So I'm just think that those words are related to these topics, so I just read those out, go through this book. Okay, I think Vibhusan, the Reverend Vibhusan, if you told something, or that's
I think that's all that we can. That sums up, sums it up our very topic. And just to the audience, have faith on yourself. That means work on what you want to work with diligence. That should not be questioned. Forget about the results and start doing. The results will come, and faith will peep in with a smile. That's it. Yeah. You can conclude.
and finally also,
Yes.
okay, finally also, I just give my pranam towards my beloved Supreme Father, and also my Vibhusan, the love and dearest one. Then just doing our dhoni also.
Yes, yes, you can now give. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Bande Purushottamam,
Purushottam.
Bande Purushottamam, Bande Purushottamam, Bande Arja Pitrin, Bande Matrivargan, Bande Aham Kristi Daivatan, Param Premamaya, Param Dayal Prabhu Nikhila Vishwa Duniyar Malik Shri Shri Thakur Kalachandra Ji ki Joy.
Sure.
Bande Purushottamam.